January 6th, they got me on a misdemeanor trespassing charge, entering and remaining on restricted government property. Their proof of it was total BS, but it wasn't really about that. I never went to the Capitol. I never did anything violent. It was all political. It was always political. And then ultimately, at the sentencing hearing, and the transcripts are public, they put me in prison for speech. I just got removed from probation this month. So I've been dealing with that. I've been dealing with the government since 2019, actually, with the disruption of Congress charge, which nobody ever gets. Like, all these people that disrupted the hearings will get a citation and get released, and then probably get their charges dropped or downgraded in court. Not me. I got arrested. I went to jail. They threw the book at me. So I've been dealing with these people since 2019, but finally got off probation. The problem is now I'm dealing with a civil lawsuit where they're trying to Alex Jones me and hit me with $1 billion that I owe in a BS case. So I'm dealing with that. And then I got my lawyers fighting the IRS for me too. The IRS comes after me every year. So no, they never give you a break. They never let you come up for air. And Owen said this, Owen stated this, Owen broadcasted this, Owen said this, Owen. So, I mean, it's literally all about what I said, because I didn't do anything that day. All I did was walk on the Capitol grass. So I got sentenced to 2 months in prison for my speech. They can sit there and deny it, and the leftist reporters can deny it. But anybody can go look at the transcripts for themselves, and you will see I was sentenced to 2 months in prison for speech. That's it. Inside the Bureau of Prisons, inside the federal prisons, everybody there was like, we've never seen a case like this. I don't even have a felony. They've never seen somebody in a federal prison that doesn't have a felony.
Right. I was about to say, misdemeanors, you usually don't even go to jail for that.
Nope. 2 months in prison. I'd have to go to the federal building every month and pee in a cup and send bank statements and everything else. And I was basically, my probation was basically like a high-class felon, like a violent high-class felon.
Right.
And again, never had a violent crime, never had a felony, never had a drug charge, but I'm peeing in cups. They're watching my financial statements. They're doing home checks. So it's crazy. But luckily that's behind me. So now I just got to deal with this lawsuit where they're trying to bankrupt me and the IRS.
That's the whole point of this lawfare. Even though they know they don't really have a case and it's not going to stick, even with Daniel Penny, they know if they can just put you through months and sometimes years of lawfare, it's going to just beat you down. And I guess they're just trying to break your spirit.
Well, you got to give it up to God. You really, you got to just accept that this is all part of God's plan. And, it's funny too, because I'm not a rich man. I make enough money to be able to eat what I want and, live where I want, but I'm not a rich man. And it's funny because people assume when you have a big following and, you kind of have a certain status, right? They assume, oh, you must be rich. And the truth is I'm just not. And it's funny because a lot of it, I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on legal fees, hundreds of thousands of dollars fighting with the government since 2019. I mean, you think about that. That's 6 years of legal battles, 6 years of fighting charges, 6 years in and out of jail, 6 years. I've dealt with the IRS, I think, for the last 4 years. I've been sued in different cases, not dealing with the government. I've been sued in civil court too many times to count. And even though most of the time I just, hire my lawyers and I can usually the charges are so weak or the accusations are so weak, they just get tossed. So it's like, it doesn't end up being an actual legal struggle, but I have to pay the lawyers to do it. So, if I didn't have to deal with this, I might have a couple $100,000 extra dollars and be maybe a little more rich. But I don't. And I don't really do it for money anyway. Look, anybody that says they don't want to be rich, come on, get real. You don't want to, everybody wants to have a lot of money. It's funner that way, less stressful that way.
Yeah.
But that's not really what this is all about for me anyway. And that's part of what they want to do to you, by the way. That's
exactly.
They really don't even care necessarily about the outcome. The process is the punishment, as they say.